think we should be live. I'm gonna wanna see if I can hear the music or not, but whether we can or can't, like it is what it is, bro. I'm not about to do that. Okay, so we live on YouTube again, working out some kinks. Cool, cool. It's 9:30 in 1 minute, 20 seconds.
Playlist smooth, ain't?
What'd you say?
So this playlist smooth.
Yeah, I picked it out, bro. Bro, it works. Look how far back they are, though. Man, say less. Fuck no BS. We good now. But I'm about to delete that shit off my shit immediately. Bruh, that shit had my computer moving so goddamn slow. Bro, I'm
What's
like,
that?
am I
It's
tripping?
using, it's
Bro,
using
the
that
whole cursor
power.
was lagging.
He said immediately.
Bro, man, y'all about to physically see me delete that bitch. I promise you. Nigga, what? Bro, I was lying, bro. There's no way that this is it. Like, there's no way that this is my only method. This is the only thing I can do. Damn, that's funny though. Okay, we in the game then. Nothing happened, by the way. I mean, we got a closure below absolutely nothing yet. So, um, this shit just ranging so far. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If if we ain't got nothing by about 10, 15, 10, enjoy my Friday.
That's
But
the
I'm hoping
safest
that we
route.
catch something. This has been a fucking trying week, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just with like Wednesday was a big stream of growth for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because Tonyo, man, that 9:30, bro, that 9:30 with volume, bro, it's gonna eat me up if I don't. I gotta start now. I have to start.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta start, bro. Like, the longer you prolong it, the longer you like stop yourself from breaking them bad habits.
Facts.
Like, I'm being scary for nothing, just trying to take the money that's on the table, and that's cool. But, bruh, if I throw a two and I take that first one out at 23, that means I made 230 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather let that other one go to 400 or 450 and just cut that little, if it come back to like plus 10 or whatever, just take that. Like, that's the risk I took.
Yeah, because that's what it's doing anyway. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what it's doing, bruh. That's
Nine
definitely what it's doing.
9:30 definitely is pushing for sure.
Exactly.
Every single time we get on.
Exactly. Exactly. So 33.79. The daily low is all the way down here, by the way. Like I said, unfortunately, I won't be able to execute. Well, I mean, I can move my screen over. Like, I can put it over here. So, but like the idea will be the idea, regardless of whatever platform I execute on. But the daily low ain't till down here. So that's shit. That's crazy. That's still 50 pips down to that little support I identified. But we're gonna see if we get all the way down there though. Kind of like right into here, down into this little area, at least coming into these wicks right here. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Damn, bro. I cannot believe I made that shit that hard. Like I said, I'm about to delete OBS immediately. I'm sick. I even sound better on YouTube. I can hear myself. Like, I sound better. I don't know what was going on with OBS. I just don't know the whole how to do everything. So like, until I know how to connect this to this and that to that, like, it ain't that deep for real. Like, all you'll see is a little zoom watermark in the bottom right of the screen. That ain't no one give a fuck. And you can even hear like y'all better with the Zoom link. I'm gonna play it for you. I hope the mic don't be tripping, but okay. That's the risk I took.
Yeah, because that's what it's doing anyway.
Yeah, it do sound better.
Yeah.
That sounds way better. So I'm gonna just rock out with that. Do what we've been doing. Do what's been working. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no point in reinventing the wheel. For real, for real. But yeah, bro, like this week took a lot out of me.
Man, what?
It took a lot out of me. I can be transparent and say that. Like this week definitely took a lot out of me. Just in the sense of like doing bullshit and not trusting my gut technically. Like it's just a whole bunch of just negatives that came from this week. But you can view as a positive and a learning lesson. And that's what I always try to do is just kind of take the good from what I identify as bad. Because if someone objectively looked at this, they say, nigga, you won every day. But it's like, bro, that don't feel right when, yeah, I made 114 on this day, but 3 of them trades ran to my full target after I said I need to start holding longer. Like that's the difference of that 114 being 500. And that's the difference of this 353 being 700. Because that's also that day at 9:30 we got in, 9:32 I got out, and that bitch flew to TP 50 pips away. Like those are the separators that's gonna subsidize those losing days that we have. Because when you maximize your wins, it take care of your losses. It's all good though. Like I said, it's a learning lesson. A learning lesson for sure. But green is green, and trying to get. So I submitted for 3 more payouts yesterday for $3,500, $3,500, and $3,500. So that will be over $30,000 from a $1,300 investment. So
That's
that'll be dope. That'll be dope, bro. I'm blessed. People spoke a lot of life into me over this past year, just in this skill, and just I'm finally feeling like I'm cracking the, like, you know, just cracking the rock, like just getting there of like the potential that I do have in this shit. Yeah. I ain't even started where I'm gonna be at all, and that's the crazy part. Like I said, this shit is just a game, bro. This is a game. This is literally just gamified to get this 3,500, like, and then gamified to get these little certificates, and gamified to, you know, try to get a profit target. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know how much longer these are gonna be around, but these ain't gonna be around forever. And I know one day I'm gonna want to throw a 10 lot for 50 pips because I really trust that bitch is gonna go 50, and that's really gonna be 5 bands just for one trade. Like that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm envisioning. A long game. Because yeah, it's cool making 2, but it's damn cool making 5.
What?
Paying your monthly bills in one trade, bro. Paying your monthly bills in one trade. So it's funny because, like I said, when I did Nick's podcast, one dude was like, is making 20,000 good money over 3 months? I'm like, first of all, that would be good if that's your only job. But second of all, this is not my job. This is a hobby. Like, this is something I do for 2 hours a day. And that's kind of why I don't like trading Asian. Not because there's no volatility, but more so because you're starting to treat it like a job at that point. If I'm putting 4 or 5 hours a day in on these charts, nigga, after working, bro, you're gonna kill yourself. You're gonna literally mentally exhaust yourself. And that's kind of how I felt with being on for the last 2 days trying to get to that payout. Like I didn't like the way that shit made me feel, bro. Like, this shit is a vehicle. It is not supposed to be tying us down. I'm trying to make as much money as I can in the least amount of time as possible spent. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do personally. I'm not trying to sit on this shit all day. When you start spending from 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. to 11 or 12, that's 3.5, 4 hours. Then you looking all night from 8 to 10 trying to get into something. That's 2.5 more hours. So you just went to work for 7, 8, 9 hours, and then you just came look at these charts for 5 or 6 on top of that.
Mm.
No, that don't make sense.
And then when you lose, you got to wake up the next day.
Bruh, and then when you lose fat, bruh, when I lose in New York session, I go on about my day. It just is what it is. But bruh, when you put yourself in that hole and then you got to go to sleep, you just like, bruh.
Mm.
Ari Matt, bro, you had me weak when you said you was in that SUV looking out that window. That
Man,
shit had me
bro.
crying, bro.
A whole 7-hour ride just thinking about it.
Bro, you like, bro, something gotta change, bro. Something gotta change. Something gotta change. I can't keep doing it.
Oh,
That
shit.
shit had me weak. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just have the live stream open on my actual computer on one screen on my left because people are in the chat. There's another guy in the chat right now, so I'm gonna just have my screen open on this side. But that OBS, I can't do that no more. Can't do that no more. What's the difference between going live and receiving payouts from the funded accounts? Good question. So when you receive payouts from your funding accounts, you have to quote unquote hit a profit target. So you got to hit this profit target of, it used to be 5, 4, and 3, but now it's 6, 5, and 4%. So once you hit these profit targets, you can then request a payout. But when you're live, you can take daily payouts. You can take payouts every 24 hours. You just got to make at least $200 to take one. And like I was telling Tony on the group yesterday, I don't think I would take payouts every day, but at least weekly. At least. And what's crazy about it is your max loss limit is simply what you start the account with. So I was telling Roger earlier, what I would start the account with is this, which is my highest balance, minus the $3,500 that I requested yesterday. So that came out to $8,475.55. So that would be the max that I can lose. But anything above that, I can withdraw. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Like it's funny because technically speaking, you can make more money with 3 demo accounts and then you can make with doing that, because just think about it. I just requested for 3 $3,500 payouts, which would total up to 10,500, as opposed to when you're trading live, you would have to make 10,500 from that 8,000. You would have to double the account, over double the account. That's technically harder to do. But at the same token, you got to roll with the punches and say, bruh, I got a 90-10 split and I can get payouts every 24 hours. So choose your fighter at that point. What I was nervous about was, and I can be transparent in saying this, what I was nervous about was they can move you to live before you get to the third payout. And I was like, bruh, at least let me get this last 10,500. What's going on, my brother? Nice to see you on a Zoom chat. We got our man from Poland. He joined us today.
Yes, sir.
What up, bro?
What's going on, brother? I was just walking them through the live account rules as I just requested my third payout through Top One Futures. So I got an email yesterday saying that I'm about to get my account assessed to see if they want to go ahead and move me to live. And the benefits of it are that you can get daily payouts. Yeah, you can use the mic. We're all on it. Come on.
Yeah, hello guys.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, sir.
Welcome,
Yes,
welcome.
sir.
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see, like, first of all, congrats on the payouts, man. That's like
Appreciate
really
that.
well done. I wish
Appreciate that.
I wish I wasn't in that place, man.
You'll
And
get there.
I'm really curious to hear all your stories because there's a few people here you're quite active. Usually when I was in groups like that previously, but nobody was speaking there. So it's pretty cool to see that you guys are just constantly active and talking. That's really
For
nice.
sure. For sure. I mean, we bounce ideas off of each other. It's funny because the moves are the moves. Like that's the easy part. But what we like to do is talk about psychology and kind of our thought process leading up to trades because ultimately that's what's going to be the most important thing that comes into this trading stuff, you know?
Yeah, man, the mental game of trading is freaking
Yeah.
hard.
I was just telling him, I said, man, I have not quote unquote lost this month. And I'm just not feeling it right now, just with my mental. It's like I'm going against my rules a little bit. I'm not holding positions as long as should with conviction. It's kind of one of those things where I kind of need to take a step back right now as I'm getting evaluated for my live account, so I can actually maximize my profits when it does come time to go live.
Yeah, and then it's like because I'm in a similar spot, I guess, where for instance I was trying to hold my trades longer, and then
Yep.
I take some profits, but then I go break even, then I get too close to like 1 hour, I close my profits, and then it goes to full TP, and I'm like, okay, I've made money,
It's
but
the
then
worst, bro.
then
It's the
it got to
worst.
take profit, and then once I try and hold, it actually goes to stop loss. And if I was just doing one thing, so either securing or either holding, it would be all right.
Mm.
But I always get the short straw. So
It's like because me and it's someone named Antonio on here, and me and him have just kind of been talking about you just have to roll with the punches. Like if you're gonna decide that that's what you're gonna do in holding, you got to do it, and you got to be okay with accepting the result of hey, it might come back to break even, and I just got to live with that. And it's unfortunate, but it just kind of but like you said, when it does run for those 50, 60, 70 some odd pips, you're like woulda, coulda, shoulda, hell. And the more you play that woulda, coulda, shoulda game, it's gonna eat you up. So what I'm thinking about doing is if I have a two running, just securing one, letting the rest run, and just trying it out, maybe for 2 weeks, maybe for a month, and really seeing the data of does it really work over the long term.
yeah, that would be ideal to actually stick to it for a few weeks to then see the
Exactly,
actual stats.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you do it one or two times, I mean, that's discretionary. Like anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of sims. So like not backtesting, but simulating the real-time data. And on the sims, I'm doing freaking great. But then when it comes to the live markets, even though I know I should hold to, let's say, that 1 hour or to the structure point, it's in the live markets, it's just so much harder, or pulling the trigger, or actually like pulling the trigger to manage. Oh man, I still have
Of
problems with
course.
that.
Of
Yeah.
course. So one move we like to take a lot of times is the break of the daily low, and you'll see that kind of in the group. But the break of the daily low during a time of volume, like 9:30, the 9:30 candle, for some reason, man, it just you can get some pretty good pushes during that time. I think you saw me on Nick's podcast when I was talking about that. But I mean, I may even try my hand at that if we get down here. It's just one of those things where you don't technically have a stop loss. It's funny, like you don't really have it. You can use like the entry candle high, but I mean, do you really want to sit negative 50 in that? If it starts pulling up against me, I usually just cut it, honestly. But it's one of those things of some of the guys in here take it, some don't. But it's kind of one of those things that I've learned is like during a time of volume, when you break daily highs or daily lows, especially in the direction of where price is trending, it usually pushes because not only do you have this wick to fill on the daily, but you also have a support to come into like down into here, right there, kind of right in there. You kind of have a wick to fill right in there. So there's a lot of different ways to obviously trade. It's just kind of managing your risk ultimately and not sitting in those huge drawdowns. That's ultimately the only thing that'll kill you, especially in the prop space of big losses. Big losses will set you back 2 or 3 days for no reason.
Yeah, and I usually use a negative risk to reward.
Oh, yeah,
So
me too.
most
Me too.
yeah, most of my
I
trades
don't
are
I don't
below.
really care about risk to reward, quote unquote. Like my risk to reward, let's see, April 1 is technically 0.95. Like I don't really care about risk to reward. I care about how many days can I win? That's what I care
Man,
about.
I
Every single
over
day or every single month, I'm gonna see if I can come out profitable. If I can come out
over
like that's what it's all about.
Yeah, over the past year, I've been securing really fast. Like, so your risk reward is zero point 0.9, so that's actually quite good. My risk reward was around, like, average risk reward was around 0.5, I guess, something like that.
Really?
Or yeah,
Woo!
or sometimes even less. And I was profitable every single month. But
Yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
And
but
it's so
then,
funny because when you first get
yeah,
started, you hear about people saying like, "I want to get a 3-to-1 or a 2-to-1." That's not realistic, in my opinion. That's
I feel
hard.
the
That's
same
very
way.
hard to do.
But then
That's
I'm
a
hearing all
lot.
those guys saying that, and then I'm doubting. So first of all, I'm seeing a lot of my trades actually run longer, and then I'm trying to switch up my strategy and try to hold those trades. Then when I try and hold them, they go against me, and it messes up my results, messes up my psychology, and then I have to go back to securing early, and then again I secure early,
Exactly.
and then I try and hold longer, I mess up my results, and then that's the broken wheel that happens to me.
Exactly. It's funny because like I said, me and Tonio were talking about it. If you're gonna commit to it, you have to ultimately just commit to it and say this is what I'm gonna do. But you gotta understand and just be okay with that break even, which is a bit tough because I mean I can secure 20, 25, 30 pips all day. Like that's like riding a bike. But can you have conviction in trusting that it'll run 60, 70? And that's where it's tough, because I mean, even if you look at this candle say you got in on the break of this high after it came all the way down here during news. So you got in on the break of this high at we'll just call it 33.85 even. This thing ran up to 33.90, 33.91. That's what is that, 60 pips and a couple candles, a couple 5-minute candles. So it's just kind of interesting of like, maybe we should take advantage of that. Maybe you should leave a small runner just every now and then, or when you know it's a time of volume. But ultimately, it's just gonna have to come down to do you trust it or not.
Yeah, the problem is that I feel like uh, it's really cool to wait. I forgot the word. Sorry, English is not my main language,
Nah, you're
and I
fine.
forgot the word where. Oh yeah, embrace. You kind of have to embrace that the markets are random. So then I
Yeah,
really enjoy securing profits in that sense, where like, okay, it pushed, it will probably get to TP, but it's all random, and I can just lose my. So am I willing to lose $300 to get the additional 100? Is like,
yeah,
do I?
exactly,
And
exactly.
then if I secure, let's
Hey,
say
I'm
80%,
1 second. I'm gonna put a sell stop at the break of this daily low just in case it gets me in. I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry about that.
no problem,
It's
man,
just
no
kind of
problem.
one of those things I'm looking at. It's gonna be a quick push if it does get in, or if we do get in. Like I said, I always use a pretty tight stop when it comes to a mental stop on these. So I'll put a stop or a take profit of around 40 some odd pips right there if it wants to just shoot down very quickly. And I'm anticipating that after the daily has came up, perfectly retested this support right here, I think when it breaks its own low during a time of volume like we're anticipating, it should one fill its own wick around right here. So that's 3375.6 ish. And then final targets could be 3371 kind of at this support right here. So let's see if it wants to go ahead and get us in. So I'd go probably one, put one TP right there at the wick fill, and then one TP at 3373.5 ish. So that's me putting TP1 kind of at the wick fill, and then when it breaks that low, it should have another jump down if it gets us in. So let's just see if it gets me in. If we gotta wait till 10, that's also fine. But
So I'm not used to this platform. Where
I know.
yeah,
It'll be this one.
it's a
Stop
good
sell. Yeah, stop sell. That's
stop
all it'll
sale. What
be.
at?
Stop sell at 3377.7. So we got triple sevens.
But
That would be the break of the daily low right there, 3377.7.
but
Sorry about that. I know my accounts are unfortunately frozen because I'm waiting to get my payout approved.
it's
But
all good.
yeah,
It's a
right.
good
Just
thing. It's innocent.
yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great
It's a
thing for
yeah.
sure.
So I ain't mad at it at all. It just gives us a little bit more versatility throughout different charts.
Exactly, because one day you'll get to either trading accounts through this platform, and this is actually the platform I utilize my live account on as well. So Yeah, pretty straightforward.
So you guys all trade futures? Am I the only Forex guy
Yeah.
here?
Are you only on Forex?
Yeah. Never traded
Yeah,
It's still the
futures.
Raymond.
same. It's the same concept. We have one guy that actually trades Forex. He's not in the group. He's not in the group right now. His name is Raymond, but it's the same price action, just different prices.
Yeah. And the different platforms. So like what you're doing here is black magic to me, the way you set up TPs and stuff.
I mean, I miss like how easy Forex was technically. Like Forex is pretty easy, but when you get to here, you gotta set buy stop, sell stops. I miss stop loss and take profit. That's what I miss.
Man, MT5 is so easy, and they made it easier in the last year. I think they gave updates to like MT5 on the phone, where
Mm-hmm.
you can also easily set your risk, where you just put on the lines and it
Dang.
tells you how much dollars you're risking.
Yeah.
So
See,
just before you really had to calculate the lot size, and I have magic keys for that, but on the phone that's really useful.
I miss Magic Keys. All right, so we have a 5 minute candle that's about to close. So wherever this 5 minute candle closes and opens up, I will use whatever high that is as my quote unquote technical stop loss. These are keep in mind these are five 150K accounts. So I mean, if I lose 40 pips on a two, that'd be $800, and I try to always lose less, like I say. But sometimes in these instances, it is harder to manage risk because you're just anticipating that when it breaks this low, it should just come on down. So, so I would use this high, kind of looking something like on the 5 minute. The technical stop is 3377.7. And like I said, if we gotta wait until 10, we can. There's no problem and no harm in doing that. But right now, if it were to stop right where it's at, it'd be like less than a 40 pip stop, which I don't mind at all. First quote unquote target. What'd you say?
How do you set your take profit again?
When you get in, you'll be able to drag it down. Have you
Okay.
seen me do that? When you get in, you can
Yeah.
drag it down and drag it up. So it
Okay,
looks like
yeah.
this wants to run up a little bit right now. If we don't get activated by like 9:57, then I'll probably just close this out. I'll hit exit all
It really
and
says.
wait until 10.
Bet.
But that's what it's looking like. It's looking. Damn, I hate to go against my own analysis, but you know what this actually looks good for? A buy out of support. If this closes back above, because this can kind of be like a little fake out. But I'll see though. I'll see.
I used to
Just
take a
think
lot of impulse entries like that, where it did the huge liquidity week and then it rebreaks its high.
Exactly. And we're too late into the candle now to technically do that. But if this closes back above like there, that wouldn't be bad to take it back on up, expecting at least half of this range to be filled. And it's funny, people see my interviews and they're like, what do you mean you expect the next candle to make a top wick? Well, I expect that this next candle will ultimately fall, but I think that if this respects support right here and closes back above, I think we can catch a bit of this top wick for the 1 hour candle, maybe up into here, maybe up in, just somewhere up into there, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and delete this right now and we'll see how this opens up for the next 30 minutes / 15 minutes / 1 hour candle, because this, like he just mentioned, grabbed a lot of liquidity to the downside. This could have gotten people in right here, and now it's a big stop. Like your technical stop wouldn't be, it'd be pretty big, but if you can get 20 to 30 pips out of that, that's a great trade. So let's just see how this candle opens up. We got 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So you only trade London?
Yeah, I do. But I'm thinking, like, since I joined you guys, I'm also considering maybe trading just 2 hours of London and then 2 hours of NY. I could be doing that because it's a pretty nice time. It's like after dinner for me now. So
Oh wow, yeah, that's very good.
yeah, and usually what I do is I wake up early and then I trade a London session from my 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. But if I get like 2 nice trades, then I usually call it a day. Um,
7-1, Jesus.
Yeah,
So
because
do you
I
sit?
do I do trading full time now, so it's like I don't
Okay.
have anything better to do. I would rather get the experience,
Yeah.
but I don't want to trade through the whole day because then it's like I already treat it like a job, but it's a job that I like to do because I really enjoy it. But
Yeah.
then I also want to do trading so that I have time for anything else that I want to do. So
That's what it's all about. I was telling everyone before you
yeah.
hopped on, I said trading is technically a vehicle that allows us to do what we want to do, and rather than us being just sitting in front of these charts all day, it'd be nice to catch a move or two a day and go on about the day.
Yeah, that's the ideal plan for the future, but overall I still enjoy it. Like compared to what I was doing before, this is just it's just really cool to sit in front of my PC, to be in a warm place, that I can make myself some coffee. Because before I was a snowboarding and kitesurfing instructor. So like when I was teaching kitesurfing and I didn't even have like warm water around or it was really because we were living in trailers and when the weather was bad then being in the water for 10 hours it was horrible.
Jeez,
So now
man,
just being able to wake up and sit in front of the PC, it's cool. I just watch YouTube on the side or whatever.
for sure. Tonio, go check out your boy in the comments.
Huh?
What happened? No, so we didn't get a closure above, which is fine. So let's see what we're looking like. We closed we still closed above supports right here. So there's technically nothing
Whew.
that is set up from a technical aspect just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and clear this off. So a fresh analysis, I would say, still kind of looking at the same things. Sells below here and it closed above or it closed below this. But if you're looking at the 1 hour only, yeah, you got somewhat of a small range / wick fill here, but I look at every time frame and I know that I have a support right there. So there's nothing you technically can do now as far as price action goes. You're kind of just bouncing back and forth and pinballing in a range. This hasn't been a very volatile day, quite honestly. There hasn't been much going on. You just have a channel of consolidation, quite honestly.
I tell you, man, this might be my day off.
Hey, man. Like I said, maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's good for just introductions and just kind of catching a feel. But I'll give you just a quick. How do you pronounce your name, brother? Just so I don't want to get it wrong.
My name?
Yes.
Well, so actually, Jakiś Typek is not my name. It means some guy. But my name is Christopher. Krzysztof.
Oh, man, Christopher.
But Chris, it's basically Chris. So.
I got you. So you'll see me every day. I don't know if you've caught in the live stream yet. But what I do is so what I do is I'll look at the daily time frame to start. And I'll see what has kind of happened over the most recent couple of days. So when I see how yesterday formulated, I see that this candle obviously closed below the most recent support, but it also closed below this resistance that can serve as a support as well. So this candle, as it was pushing up, all it was doing was technically retesting this support as we like to see on a 30-minute time frame, on a 1 hour time frame, what have you. So I'm not surprised that it rejected out of here the way it has. And the way I'm looking is if we can break this daily low or close, I'll just go to the 30-minute just for explanation purposes. If we can close under here in any way, we have quite literally nothing in the way. All these candles are very, very, very clean. But you can't just completely omit that you have all this consolidation right here. So what I like to do is find an area that price can potentially hold up at. So I identified that this is an area, but you also can say this is an area where price has just kind of rejected, and kind of came into here. And it might look like a small range, but it's still a 50 pip range to take advantage of. So that's why I kind of try to find those 40, 50 pip areas that I can get into and say, if I see 50 pips, I know that I can secure about 30 or a 25. So I'll go to the daily and start, and then I'll say, what did the last daily candle do? So if you can find what the last daily candle did, you'll likely catch a trade that happened in that direction. So I'll go to the 4 hour and I'll say, what happened? Okay, the 4 hour candle actually just closed below, or kind of right at it, but technically below ish. But I wouldn't get into this because it's kind of wonky of just having no clear direction. But what I'd really like to do is identify on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. So the 1 hour shows us that we just closed below this most recent support right here. And until we break this high, this candle can come all the way up before it flips back down. So I, at this point, am completely bearish on these candles. I'm not even looking for buys until I get above this identified resistance. So once I identify a support, which is right here, a resistance, which is right here, and you can potentially even move it up to get above these supports right there, there's once again nothing in our way until we get up into these ranges right in here, which is once again a 75 pip range. You can argue that there's something right here, like if you want to use the bottom, but even then you still have a 50 pip range. So I like to just simply wait on candles to show me where I want to go, rather than trying to call this pinball of it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. Give me a breakout, a fake out, or a break of the daily low or the break of the daily high during the time of volume. Anything other than that, it's hard pressed for me to buy it unless I once again have like a closure back above a range or something like that. What do you look for when you trade?
So usually when I come to the charts, so overall I've had using the same concepts as you. I've been trading the past year using the same concepts as you, apart from the last 3 months where I've been testing something else. It still involves the same principles. But in the past few months, what I've been doing is I've been trading basically support and resistance formed, but like engulfing candles. I was also looking at volume, and then I was trying to catch an entry on the bottom wick. But I'm overall, when I come to the charts, usually what I do is I look at how the previous daily candle has closed.
Yep.
And then like today was a really nice example that you showed on the daily, where the candle closed strong bearish, and then it was pushing up. So actually when I come to the charts in London, it's pushing up, it was retesting a level. So I was anticipating, when we saw a bit of rejection, I was anticipating it to just be a top wick for the daily. And then I'm looking for shorts. And the way I was trading before, I was also just marking out zones, looking for breakout, fake outs, fakeouts, and then sometimes salary plays. I don't know how you call them. It's like Donvo kind of popularized the name salary play. I know you know Donvo because you mentioned Wix 9, so you probably know Donvo. I've heard you mention Wix 9 somewhere. And I also really put a lot of attention, maybe that's wrong to do, I don't know, but I put a lot of attention to how the candle forms. So if the candle opens and we make a little top wick and then we grab the lows and reject, then I'm assuming the candle will actually go back up when we.
It's funny you say that. That actually happened during 8:30 news. So this was a news candle. It came all the way down here, and it actually came back up, rebroke its own high to continue up, and that was a good move. I see that a lot.
Yeah, I look at those a lot as well, and I did take a lot of those entries, and I'm looking to go back to trading like that right now. That's why I actually found you and decided to join, because when trading like that, my big problem was pulling the trigger to actually manage the trade, and also playing around with the risk reward, when to use the current candle stop loss, when to use the previous, because I usually know when to use the current candle, but I just don't have the balls to actually do it, because I feel like it can easily re-break the low and then continue my direction. And I don't use fixed lot size like you guys. I used fixed risk. So then I'm looking to get back into trading this way, because I feel like I have great read on the market and it's really easy for me to read price action and predict the moves. It's just hard for me to pull the trigger on the trades and then actually use my discretion, kind of. So that's what I'm gonna try to practice.
What I would say is you have to be okay with using a smaller stop loss if you're not gonna hold for that long, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense in my head to use a 60, 70 pip stop loss if you're only gonna be trying to get 25, or 20 or 30. I just know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was my problem before, where I was entering trades where I could have had a really small stop loss with, for instance, because like if the current candle makes a bottom wick, then flips or like makes a top wick, then rebreaks its low, and then rebreaks its high and the previous high, then I'm pretty sure it's not gonna rebreak the current candle low.
That's what I always say. When we get in, I say if this candle wants to go up, there's no reason it should come down. And break its own low. Like it's no reason to. So that's why I'm willing to use that.
Exactly. And so I could be using that, but then I feel like, oh man, I'm like, it's a tight stop loss. What if it just pumps down? And then I was using the previous candle, and that's why my risk reward was super small before. Like the win rate was really good, but it was super small. And I was saying to myself, okay, but then I can manage on that low. And then when it went to rebreak that low, I didn't manage because I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. Like I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna see if it rebreaks that low. I'm gonna see how it reacts. And then when it reacts and pumps down, it's like, oh, now it's too late to close it.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, I think, Roger, are you still in here? I have someone in here that...
Yeah, I'm still in.
Bro, you can even tell him, like, you know how we do. I'm just going to cut it. Did we just go ahead and cut it and reassess?
Yeah, cut it and retest. Yep.
Yeah, because, I mean, think about it. Hope is not a strategy. If you get in and it goes and rebreaks its own candle low, bro, you might as well just get out. And if you get another opportunity to re-enter, that's one thing. But it's no point in trying to hold that position for negative 30, 40, 50. You know where it's going. You know it's going to go to your stop loss.
It's just so hard for me. Also, the pressure of knowing that I have 2 trades for the day and I'm just going to lose one already. And then also, it's like, I think I put my stop loss in a sensible place. So then I feel like, okay, I'm just going to hope it's going to respect that stop loss. But when I was watching the price move, the price moved the way that it showed me that is more likely now to hit my stop loss. And I'm not reacting to it because like I basically freeze. I see it's going to happen. I know like 70% chance it's going to happen, but I still don't react. And I'm trying to get over that fear now, or like fear or whatever.
Hope is not a strategy.
Yeah, I know.
Hope is not a strategy because it happened on, I forget which day it happened. One day this week though, where we cut, I think it was Wednesday. We cut risk pretty early on our first loss. Like I was risking on a 3, I was risking like $1,500 or $1,200, and I only lost $600. In the next couple trades, I got that back. And it's like, if I would have let that full position hit stop loss, that at that point, that'd have been stupid. Because you know where it's going to your stop loss, and it wound up doing it. I saved $900 or saved $800.
Man,
I'd rather save that money for the next trade.
I'm on a losing streak right now where almost every single trade I basically could have cut the stop loss in half basically, and I knew it was gonna hit the stop loss, but I didn't. And also it was super annoying because the strategy I've tested, like the different one from yours, it was basically I did a lot of simulations. So at one point in my trading journey, I've decided to just skip candles on the simulation and try to predict the next candle. And I've noticed a lot of relations between candles and the volume also, because I was using volume at the time and learning volume and how to use volume. Right. And I was noticing a lot of stuff, and I got really good at predicting the next candle. And I've noticed that if it's an engulfing candle with higher volume, so it's like proportionate, the volume is proportionate to the candle, I was just opening a buy, and then so like entering off of engulfings with higher volume or outside bars with higher volume, because outside bars are like when it grabs the high and the low of the candle, so it's like a liquidity grab and then a strong closure. And I used to only trade those, and almost it's no matter if it closes in a range or in consolidation or if it's a breakout, it worked really well. And now we've had a few weeks where it's just been consolidating and pretty messy in London session. and I've got so many losses knowing that I'm trading, like I'm buying at resistance. And it was
Right.
so annoying that I couldn't use my own expertise and my own analysis because I was feeling like I have to follow the plan and take the buy, but then I know it's less likely to play out. And I just got so annoyed that I can't. And then I was predicting the moves that I didn't enter. And then another entry happened, I enter and then it loses. So I got annoyed and I thought to myself that I'm just gonna go back to the way I traded, but try to manage the losses. And then when I manage
Yep.
the losses, it's probably gonna be great.
Like Raja said, it's hard to control your winners, but you can control your losses. We don't know if price is going to move 50, 60, 70 pips, but you know when price is going against you whether you should get out or not.
Yeah. Also, I had really a lot of trading that way, like the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes it was easy when I was emotional. It was easy to get into more subjective trades where they weren't that good. So, but only when I was emotional, and I used to have that tendency to basically mess up at the beginning of the month, then make it all back during the month. And then at the end of the
Right.
month, I felt the pressure to actually perform and to do well. And then I used to give it all back at the end of the month. And it was
I
so mentally taxing. Like, oh man.
already know. It's not fun at all. Let's see. So this isn't a terrible position, potentially, depending on how this candle opens. Let's see. So it waked up first. Not good. So what I'm looking at is basically a fake out on the 15-minute time frame, and it should, if it comes down, maybe to retest a little bit better because it's too early into the candle right now to be getting in. It could be doing this early to come down more, but if this rebreaks its low again and kind of comes down and retest maybe or a deeper pullback, this doesn't look bad to continue up because this candle has now faked out back into the range, closed above what I identified on the 5 minute as this support or as this resistance right here. And I really wouldn't really sit in all this drawdown, but let's see if it just wants to run off. If it just runs off, then it is what it is. But because, like I said,
Yeah.
this has been a taxing week. But like I said, the idea makes sense of a 15-minute candle kind of filling this wick and kind of coming up into the top of the range here. But let's just see. Even if I don't get in it, the idea is there. So
Yeah. So that's what I'm missing in my training as well. So like I would have the same analysis as you, the exact same, but I would enter after it wicked down, I would enter at the rebreak of the current candle high. And
exactly. And it's like yeah, it's great to get in and want to be a part of the move, but is this really the bottom wick? It might be. It might be, and you would have been in profit maybe 5 or 6 or 7 pips right now. But what if this candle does want to come down and make a larger bottom wick? And now you
and
don't know
that's
where to get out.
that's exactly why it's so hard for me to cut it, because I know it's so early for the candle that it can be just a deeper wick instead of actually
Exactly.
a change of direction. So that's why it's
Exactly.
so hard for me to cut the trade at that point,
Right.
actually.
Right. But like I said, I mean, even if I'm just watching it, it's fine. My saying is, I'd rather be out wishing I were in than in wishing I were out. Ultimately,
Yeah, and that's the mental I have to work on, because for me, if I feel like if you're so like you're waiting for the payouts, right? When you're in profits, it's much easier for me at least to let go of the moves. But when I'm in drawdown and a trade plays out without me, it's like, okay, I just
coulda,
missed the
coulda,
move that
shoulda.
could have made me back the money. And then what if the next trade is a loss? Then I'm basically messed up.
It's one of those things where you have to be okay with basically understanding that the price can move, trades can go on you, but I mean, what does it matter? It's you're here for the long term. And it's like as long as your idea plays out, that's great. Like obviously we saw this candle close above. I didn't think that this would be much of a bottom or enough of a bottom wick just because it was only 8 pips. But if it wants to go ahead and fill this entire wick, which would be about 20, 23, that's perfect. That's fine. It's just one of those things of kind of letting trades play out, letting out and just seeing them over and over because the more you see them, the more you'll have confidence to execute on them. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess if I were to take it, it's like no decision is wrong, but then if it re-breaks the low, I would have to cut it. and then I could just add. So it's like a bit more risk getting in that early, but then it's also letting you catch more moves. But I would also have
Right.
to cut the trades. I would have to be able to cut them when they
Exactly.
go
Like
the
if you were to
opposite
get
way.
in right there and you had a position running, you could cut half down there, or you know, or cut the whole position and say, I need to see a deeper pullback. But it's just one of those things of I'm not so antsy that I have to get into trades. The price is always moving. You know, it's you don't have to always get in it. It's just nice to see your idea play out. What happened when we came up? The other couple times we got above here, we went up. We went up. We closed back above, we went up. You know, it's just kind of one of those things of are we going to have a deeper pullback than this or is that enough? In this instance, it wound up being enough, but sometimes it, you know, you'll get in, it'll come that way down because you got to think on the higher time frame, the 1 hour still closed bearish, you know. So this could be just be a top wick, and I don't know if it's technically gonna come down or if it's gonna just break all the highs. I
Yeah,
just put a
makes
lot of different
sense.
stories together, and it works out sometimes without me in it, which is fine. It's just one of those things of and now I have confidence like, oh, okay, when this happens, you can go ahead and maybe throw a lighter position size or anything like that. But I kind of don't like throwing lighter positions just because if I didn't have full trust in the position, I probably shouldn't have been in it. But it is playing out.
Yeah,
The
really good
analysis is
trade.
there for sure. Like I said, and this was like such an interesting little closure. Like it hardly closed above. Like it closed above by 1 pip right there. Let's see what the chat
Oh,
says.
so actually, so yeah, so that's a difference for me, I guess, because I'm looking only at the most, at the closest resistance, I guess. So I would be looking
Mhm.
at the lower blue line you have, and I would be
Oh,
looking at
okay.
breakout
So
from
yeah,
from
like
there.
so you would say it obviously closed back
Yeah,
above there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
exactly.
yeah, so yeah. So that would be my analysis. I wouldn't
Right.
mark up the higher one.
But looks like it's filling the full range up to here in this resistance here. So definitely played out. Good move.
Also, I've
But like you
noticed
kind of
that.
alluded to, it's just like with the week that I've had and like with the payout on the way, like I'm not so much stressing. Like, and it's a Friday. I'm taking
Man, totally. Like,
four
yeah.
straight days of oh, well, hell, at this point, 9 straight days of wins. It's like I damn near need a mental break. You know, it's taxing.
Overall, when you don't have the pressure of making trading work, it's so much easier to trade. It's crazy. When I was when I was funded, because I mentioned it to you that I basically became funded, then I've made a few payouts, like free payouts. I was making the fourth one, and they just took away my account because it was a scam company.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and when I was making payouts on this side, because I was trading that account to make a payout, then I was waiting for it and just trading some other account. It was so easy at that time. And then once they took away my account, then suddenly my mental got screwed up and I've been struggling since then. But when you don't have the pressure, because you know you're making money, it's just so easy.
Oh yeah. Like like I said, I mean, I said even in the group yesterday before you joined, I said, man, I need a mental break. It's like sometimes you just need those to reset. This thing can be
But
taxing for sure.
when you showed your journal, I've noticed that you actually end up taking a trade almost every day. So it's pretty interesting to me because you're only trading for 2 hours and then you have like, oh yeah, one or sometimes even 5 or 6 trades. Does it maybe when you take partials, does it? Uh,
Yeah, I mean, so this was a $20. I think I was just showing an example this day of something. No, this is actually a Wednesday night. I remember. So I usually don't trade Thursdays. I usually don't trade Thursdays. I traded this was a Wednesday night into yesterday before for the payout. But
oh, in your in because I started to watch your course, and in the course you said that Thursday are your worst day, so you don't trade them.
yep,
And
yep,
it's super interesting to me because yesterday I'm also in a different trading group, like with my friends, and my friend was like asking about some stats, and I said that it's super cool to actually, if it was possible for me to check some different stats, like how I do in certain hours and stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, oh shit, I have TradeZilla, so I can actually check it on TradeZilla. And I
exactly.
checked,
I have
and
TradeZilla as well.
first days were also my worst day. So it's pretty
So I
funny.
mean, imagine if you just went ahead and nixed that day and said, "I'm gonna take a day off," because it's funny. We think we need to come here every day, but when you're consistently winning, you can take a day off. You can give yourself that day to mentally reset for the last day of the week.
Yeah, and also the stats about the hour, the time of the day, it turns out that 8 a.m. is the best for me. So I guess I could be
Hmm.
just trading 8 and 9 a.m. So like 1 hour pre-London and then London, and I would be doing really
Exactly,
well.
exactly. So, um, you can see my best times are kind of like 9:30 ish, kind of right in this time for me, where I maximize the most of my profits. But as we get later into the day, like Tonio was kind of alluding to last week, start taking unnecessary losses at 10:30 and 10:40 and 11:40. Like it's just unnecessary losses at the end of the day when that sweet spot is like 8 to 10, 8 to 10 right there.
And do you also, because I feel like I've seen you go to the 5 minute, but do you trade off of the 5 minute or?
I don't trade off of the 5 minute. I'm more so just looking at price action while I'm in the trade because I'll manage off of the 5 minute. If I
Okay,
get a
yeah.
5 minute candle closing opposite my direction, I'll usually honestly just close it or close it when it
Okay.
re-breaks the opposite side. So my average trade time is my average trade time is 3 minutes and 32 seconds. So with that being
Yeah,
said,
really
I
quick.
don't really need to I don't really need to sit in on watch on the 30 minute or anything like that. I will legitimately go and watch the 5 minute time frame.
Yeah, I think NY may be also a little bit more volatile than
Yes,
London.
exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I could have been a part of this, but it's like, Roger, what you thinking over there, brother? You take anything? Antonio, you take anything?
No, not yet. Probably won't though.
Yeah, on this. Fine, you don't wanna take none on this fine Friday? What's your balance at on that 50K?
Hold on. Now, because I took something last night, not last night,
Yes, sir.
51, 176, 51,176 and
Oh, so you
88
took a
cents.
little W?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, if you keep slow playing it like this, you can have a payout in the next few weeks.
He talking about keep slow playing
Man.
it.
Hey, or go ahead. You can end up
No, no, no,
like your
no, no, no.
boys.
Come on now.
Go ahead and go fast.
Come on now.
Bruh. You so funny. You like the group moderator. You be like, what are y'all doing?
Clap it up for Brandon, man.
What are y'all doing? Bro,
No,
that be having
I
me
probably
rolling.
will take something on the 25K though, the challenge.
Was that is that close to blown or is that close to profit or what?
It's I'm $25,859.
Okay, you need to get to is it
1,500.
15? Man, you need a three for a cool little 20
Yeah, bro. That's what I was thinking.
or like 20. Well, yeah, I mean, because if you blow it, you just blow it. Is what it is. But I mean, that'd be dope to have three accounts.
Yeah. I mean, I have till when do I have to? I have till the 23rd.
Oh, so before it rolls over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And
I say on our next A+ setup,
I asked the
run it.
guy, the support guy, um, when I pass a challenge, do I have to like activate the accounts immediately? And he was like, "No, you really can just cancel the subscription and just hold them until you ready to activate them."
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Interesting. Interesting.
And how long have you been guys trading for? Like not only James, but you, Antonio, as well, and the other guys?
Well, I started trading probably like a month and a half ago, bro. And he has like grown my learning curve exponentially in the month and a half I've been here.
Wow. So like, yeah, you're really quick with it. You really quickly joined a good group, I guess, and found a mentor. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been struggling. I've been looking for strategies for like 1.5 years, I guess.
So now, so now in the month and a half that I've been here, I definitely feel more comfortable like marking up charts, being able to identify a move that's about to happen or a move that I like definitely in just that small period of time.
Nice. That's really cool. Also, looking at candle formation, knowing that the 1 hour closed bearish and the 4 hour, now this, it looks like a liquidity wick to me that just broke the current candle low. So it looks like maybe it would close bearish and continue down. So
See, and that's what I always say because that's another reason I didn't quite want to get in this with a 7 pip down wick is because, like I just mentioned, and like you just mentioned, ultimately, this is just a top wick on the 1 hour. That's all that is to continue down, I think. So it's one of those things of you just kind of have to use your discretion of, and that's why I am a scalper true and true or through and true. Because like, yeah, it was great to get up into here, but all you're doing is rejecting out of this 1 hour resistance right here to go ahead and start flipping down to continue down. That's what
okay,
I'm
and
thinking
so
about that.
would you ever enter a trade like that? So like when this 15-minute rebroke its low,
If the volume, oh, on like right here.
yeah, not on the flip, but it's low. When it rebroke its low, so it grabbed the liquidity,
Oh
like it
yeah, because
should be
oh yeah, yeah,
continuing
yeah,
moving
yeah,
up,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then it rebroke
It
its low.
it depends on the time. Like for example, this so not when that just happened because it happened closer to around 10:28 our time, which is the end of a 30-minute candle. So now this 30-minute candle closed with no bottom wick. Or sorry, this 15-minute candle closed with no bottom wick right there. So if you know that about price action, you know that when candles have no bottom wicks, that usually means there's no range to continue to the downside. And now the 30-minute still closed bullish, technically still above this range right there that we identified. So a lot of different candles are telling a lot of different stories. That's why I don't really like trading within ranges. If you obviously close above here, you have nothing in your way up until here. You have nothing in your way. But when you have this candle coming down and this candle coming up, and the 1 hour showing that it's selling, and the 30-minute showing that it's buying, and the 15-minute candle showing that it's selling with a no bottom wick, it's just telling way too many different stories. And I don't like to confuse myself on the charts. If it's not clear as day to me, like I don't even want to mess with it. Because imagine if you just came to the chart for the first time today, and all you saw was this. You would say price hasn't done anything. This has not done anything but maybe close back below right here and kind of came down into this little support area right there. Maybe. But other than that, candles are just printing side by side by side. What I'm looking for are the big moves. And we're kind of in an interesting place right now, even on the daily time frame of just candles just kind of in a range. Like we've been doing this for a long time. But earlier this year, we were doing this. So it's one of those things of you kind of just got to use your discretion of the time frame you want to put the most faith and trust into, and the daily is, I mean, obviously the higher the time frame, the more the confirmation. But like I said, I mean, yeah, the 15-minute just closed bearish, but if you'd have taken a sell on the break of its own low, you now be sitting in this drawdown for no reason, hoping that the candle flips, you know, and
Yeah, it was also close to candle close, so like I didn't really see
exactly.
the timer. If
Exactly.
let's say there's like still 10 minutes or 8
Oh
minutes to
yeah,
candle
yeah,
close.
exactly. Because like you mentioned on that 8:30 news candle, when that 8:30 news shot down right here, this 5-minute candle closed above. You could have simply used this low as your technical stop loss, targeted these highs right here, anticipating volume to take it up on the re-break of the 30-minute high right there, targeting here. It's a lot of different ways to trade, but I do like taking the re-break
And
trades for
do you
sure.
trade the news candle sometimes?
Yeah, yeah, I will, especially like on that break of the daily high or low play. I definitely like taking the taking a news candle trade. But more times than not, I just try to keep it simple. Keep it simple. But I honestly am about to hop off, call it a week. It's been, like I said, a bit of a long week, just in not results, but more so just strategy and everything in between. So this was a great week. This was a struggle week, but
Well, it
regardless,
still looks amazing when you look at the
hey, yeah, I
results.
mean, yeah, because that's times three accounts, times three and times three, and then I have five more accounts with Tradeify. So I'm up 1,710 on this account and 3,479 on these four accounts. So
That's
everything
so
is
good,
well.
man.
Everything is well. It's just got to keep staying consistent.
The futures account are also so cheap compared to Forex.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly. That's why I tell Raymond, we have a guy in the group named Raymond, and I tell him, I'm like, man, these are instant funding accounts, so it costs a little more up front. But I was telling everyone earlier, after I get these next three payouts, that will be over 30,000 withdrawn from a $1,300 investment. 399, 399, 518. So that comes out to 1317, I believe it is, for over $30,000 and counting. So
Yeah, man, that's crazy good.
exactly, the
Do,
risk
do you
reward on that you
also
can't beat.
do you trade a personal account as well, or only funding
So
accounts?
I actually at the beginning of this year I was trading a personal account, but I realized that I was making more money in the grand scheme of trading props with less risk. Does that make sense? Like on a
Yeah, because
great
you're just
week,
risking
on
the
a great
initial.
month, on a great month with my personal, I was making two and a half, 3 grand. But on a great month with these funding accounts, I might as well make the 12,000 or the 10,000, and I don't got to risk my real funds. But I do like trading personal just in the way that I can withdraw at the end of the week every week. But I mean, as long as these props are giving you all this leverage, trading 3 and 5 counts at a time, I mean, it just makes sense. But yeah, man. So I think I'm about to go ahead and call the stream. Like I said, glad we did not get in, or glad you didn't have a sell stop on the break of these lows. As like we were kind of mentioning, yes, if you were looking at the 15 minute, it was coming down, but you'll learn that no bottom wick usually means no range to the downside to continue. Wasn't surprised that this just shot straight up, especially considering how the 30-minute candle closed bullish. But once again, when these candles have no bottom wicks, you really never know and can never call it. So I don't have a great read on price action right now with candles printing side by side like this. I think that it's just honestly going up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's just the end of the week. The two best moves, I would say, kind of like we were talking about, in my opinion, were the liquidity grab to the downside and the re-break of its own high right there. And then I think that this move potentially, as it closed back above the range right there, wasn't a bad move. It just had damn near no bottom wick. Like it just took off. And I like having top wicks and bottom wicks so I can actually use it as a stop loss. But in that instance, that was one instance where you could have either put your faith in the lower, or sorry, in the 7 pip stop loss that you had available, or you'd have had to you'd have had to go ahead and use the previous low, which wouldn't be the worst thing. Like 38 pips, 40 pips. So not a terrible move at all. But yeah, I would appreciate if you would hop on a couple times a week if you have the time, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be hopping on every day.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good.
taking
Like you said, I
advantage
mean,
of
we
it.
take a trade pretty much every day. One trade, three,
Yeah. I'm gonna
one,
have
two.
to adjust my trading plan because like what I usually do is just trade in the morning and then I have the free day. But if
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hopping on in the afternoon as well to trade with you guys, or like just sit on stream, then I could as well trade. So maybe I'm gonna adjust the plan so I trade less of London and then a bit of NY as well.
Yeah, maybe I mean maybe you start later in London, or maybe you catch one move and just chill out for the rest of the day. It's just it's a lot of ways you can do it. You have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, maybe I could also have like a funded account where I could trade
New
one
York,
account
yeah.
in the morning and one in New York and see which does better.
Exactly. So I'm excited for it, but yeah, man, good week. I just kind of need a little bit of a reset, like I said. But I'm excited to see the group continue to grow. You're from Poland, and we got a guy from the UK who also just recently joined. I think that as long as we keep giving value, I mean, it should definitely grow, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And
Well, once
do
again,
you
thank you for
usually
joining.
do you usually start trading at the news candle, so the
Yeah,
8:30?
so I get back from the gym at 8:15, 8:20 Eastern Standard Time, right before the news candle drops at 8:30. So
Okay,
what time would that be for you?
that will be 2:30 p.m. I think,
Okay, 2:30 p.m.
because
Dang,
that's usually
that's
where when the New York news is. So I'm guessing that's it. Because if
yep,
you're from USA, you're six hours
6 hours exactly.
behind
Okay,
me.
cool. So yeah, man, like maybe take a break during the middle of the day and readjust. And because you said you already traded until 1 p.m. your time, maybe you can find time to do something else, during that time. You never know.
Yeah. So like instead of being at the charts, I would just go to the gym or
Exactly.
do
Exactly.
something for fun and then go trade again in NY. I think it'll be pretty cool.
For sure. Cool. Well, I look forward to continuing the journey. And like I said, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for not taking anything today. It's just like one of those days of we didn't have a great read on anything. I set a couple sell stops, set a couple buy stops. We had this trade right here that played out, but it didn't have but a 5, 6, 7 pip bottom wick. So I don't really like getting into those because it could have the same way it went up is the same way it could have reversed. It's been a great week of 4 straight winning days. You know how it goes. I mean, it's just one of those days where it's a Friday. I'd rather just enjoy the weekend and reset for a good Monday.
Yeah.
For sure. So I look forward to hopping on with you on Monday. And Tonio, Deja, Felice, let's go ahead and get to it on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
It was nice meeting you guys and see you on Monday.
For sure. See y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.